It's scary wondering what's going to come out of that box, but this is very nice. This is a Ferrari model, or no, it's an Enzo, I think. Unfortunately, I don't have an Enzo or a Ferrari, but I do have a Ferrari 458 Speciale and a Ferrari 488 GTB. I think people always find it a bit weird, like me, quite softly spoken young female, drives about in these, and you do get some interesting looks from people, like when you pull up at traffic lights, because I think that they expect to see like a kind of older gentleman, and then they look in the window and it's a young female, and I know that they always look at me and think, her dad's bought her that car. What a spoiled brat. But actually I bought it for myself. But I've just always been so passionate about driving and cars. I love it, and from the minute that I learned to drive, it was just something that I just was incredibly interested in, and I've been very lucky that because I've had this crazy life and this crazy career that I've been able to further my passion for cars. So maybe one day I'll get an Enzo. Not quite there yet, but one day. But I do love my prancing horses, my lovely Ferraris. They're just wonderful. There you go. Thank you. And what is coming next? I'm nervous. Okay. Ah. So the Germany top, and it's got Yogi on it, which is Yogi Lou, the coach. It's really funny. I met Yogi Lou at a charity event in Berlin a long time ago now. It's maybe about 7 years ago. And we just got chatting, and he said that he was a big fan of my music. And at first I thought, oh, you probably say that to everyone you meet just to be nice. But then a wee bit later on, when Germany were in the World Cup, there was a big newspaper interview that he'd done, and my friends at my record label here in Germany like texted me straight away saying, oh my God, like the Germany coach has done an interview saying that the team prepare for a game by listening to Amy Macdonald, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then obviously Germany went on to win the World Cup. So I am taking that as my own, like they won because they were inspired by my songs. Or that's what I tell myself anyway. But since then, he's actually come to a few of my shows. He drove all the way to Switzerland to a show with his family, and we'd cordoned off a little area, and he had it just up on the balcony, and I always just standing there singing and find it funny that I could see him dancing at the side. I was like, this is crazy. And then recently, well, a few years ago, Scotland and Germany were in the same qualifying group for the European Championships, and he got in touch and said, do you and your friends want to come over and see the game? So obviously we did, and he organised everything. We came over and we got picked up at the airport in one of the big fancy like team minibus things with the blacked out windows and the logo on the side of it. So as we were driving up to the stadium, all of the fans were like so excited trying to get to the car, thinking that it was the team inside, and it was just like 3 girls from Glasgow that were just showing up at the stadium. But we had a great time, and he's just a genuinely really, really lovely guy, and it's so nice to see somebody do so well when they're so lovely. So I always support Germany because, I mean, Scotland are terrible, and it's good to have Germany as my second choice because you guys are really good and always win anyway. So it's a win-win situation. Oh, Whisky. Oh, see, my dad wouldn't be very happy about this because this is a blended whiskey and his favourite is a malt whiskey. He says it's got to be a single malt. I think the whiskey is just the fact that I'm from Scotland and whiskey is probably our most kind of well-known export. I think whiskey makes the United Kingdom government something like £200 a second because it is so loved over the world. But I'm not really sure why, because it makes me feel a bit sick. Like even, the smell of it, it's not very pleasant. It takes a strong person to drink whiskey. I think my dad says that it puts hairs on your chest, so I think that's why I've stayed away from it. But it is amazing that Scotland has such an iconic product, and I always think, like, when I travel to Germany or to America or anywhere in the world, that you go into any bar and there are more things in that bar from Scotland than any other country in the world, and I think that's really cool when we're a small country of only 5 million people, that we punch so high above our weight and make this disgusting drink that loads of people seem to like. I'm not one of them, but my dad says that I'll grow into it, that one day I will like it, but he's a massive whiskey fan. Like, he's so easy to buy for at Christmas and birthdays because I just buy him another bottle of whiskey and he's absolutely delighted. But I'm not quite there yet, maybe in another 20 years. Oh, little Arnold, miniature schnauzer. I have a little dog called Arnold, and he is a miniature schnauzer. And he is just amazing. He is my life. I absolutely love him to bits. When I was younger at primary school, my sister and I constantly said to my mum and dad, "Can we get a dog? Can we get a dog? Can we get a dog?" And they kept saying no. And then one Christmas we came down and there was a cardboard box and there was just a little head peeking out and we'd got a dog. And he was called Jackson, after Michael Jackson, because that was my musical hero at the time. And I just loved him. He was there for my whole childhood. And when he died, I was so heartbroken that I wrote a song for him that was on my first album, a track called The Road to Home. And then it was a bit too raw. I didn't want to get a new dog straight away because you just have all these memories of Jackson. But my dad and I eventually decided that you miss having a dog around too much. And my mum had said, no, I can't go through that again. But my dad and I just ignored her. And we took a drive about an hour away. There was a breeder who had puppies. And we had just gone to have a look, but then we ended up coming back with 2. Like, I was getting one, which was Arnold, and then my dad was like, "Oh, I need one too, I don't care what your mum says." So we came back with 2 puppies, and my dad just sat, like, I was driving and he sat with them on his lap. And we went back to my mum and dad's house, and her and my sister were both like, but they loved it because they were so cute. And that was 2009, and Arnold's been here ever since, and he's a little superstar. I miss him so much when I go away, but luckily my mum and dad watch him, and because they have his brother as well, Rocky, the 2 of them get on really well, and they always play together. And whenever I'm away, my mum sends me videos of the 2 of them carrying on and playing and making a mess and everything, so it always makes me feel like I'm there. But what's amazing is that when I go home, my mum always picks me up at the airport, and she brings Arnold with her, and she waits outside, and he obviously has no idea that I'm coming back until he sees me, and I walk towards him, and he stands and he starts shaking, and then he comes up and I kneel down and he puts his paws up and he just screams, like, literally, "Ah!" the whole time, to the point that everybody at the airport turns round to look what's going on, and they're like, "This is amazing, this little dog is so happy." So the next time, my mum said she needs to film it when I come back so that I can put it on, like, Instagram and show everybody just how lovely Arnold is. But yeah, he's my favourite. He's a wee cutie. Oh, Ferrero Rocher. Can I eat this? These are my favourite chocolates, and I get them every Christmas. Everybody gives me them because I could literally sit and eat a whole box of them, but I have to eat them where I bite all the chocolate off first and then split them in the middle and then lick all the chocolate out and then leave the little hazelnut till the end. So it takes me about 10 minutes to eat one of them. But a year ago, my friend had no idea what to buy me for Christmas. So she literally made up a sign that said Amy and stuck Ferrero Rochers to it. So instead of having my name in lights, I had my name in Ferrero Rocher, and it was probably the best Christmas present that I ever had. I spent the next few days just eating them all and getting through hundreds of them. And I love them. They're the best things. I almost don't want to give this one back. I want to take it with me, but I can keep it. Okay, that's good. I'll eat that in the car.